Hello, everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over my contribution to the Puter.js open source project. Puter.js is a web browser operating system that's open source, and lately I've been contributing to this project. What I've been doing lately is work on the captcha verification system to prevent automated abuse from bots, for example. So what I've been doing lately is implementing this captcha system, which has four main components. The first component of this is the captcha module, which is basically the core security component that orchestrates all captcha related functionality. Um, Number two is the captcha service, which is basically the engine itself that generates, stores, and validates captcha challenges, and it's configurable to have different kind of difficulty levels. Then you have the Captcha middleware, which is the smart traffic engine that decides when to require captcha verification and handles the verification process. And then you have the captcha view, which is basically the user interface component that renders the captcha challenge itself, and it's made to match the style of the current system. So you'll see it matches really well. The chances of contributing to an open source project and merging this captcha verification system into the operating system itself, where that there's a couple of security issues that arise through adding this new feature. And then when I first initially integrated my system into the operating system, we realized that we wanted some differences with Eric Dubre, who's in charge of accepting all the new pull requests. We realized that we wanted a more appropriate separation between front and back end, and to that we needed to split our middleware into two different components. So that's how we enhanced our system, was by splitting the middleware component into two different systems, which I'll talk about in the next slide, and then solving new security issues that arise. For example, a big one that kept on coming back was that the password when signing in was being displayed in the login query string. So we had to fix that by um, basically having a more robust front-end protection and having some sort of defensive cleanup in the URL. Um, and that was a big one. And then when it comes to splitting the middleware into two different components, we created this first half, which was called check captcha, which basically was just determining whether captcha verification was needed. So the front end would decide that and then talk to the backend, and the backend would uh, display whether it was required or not. That's where our second part came from, where we have the verification step, right? So the required captcha, which basically handles the actual captcha verification. So again, the first part was the scouting step, the check captcha, which basically just determine if captcha is needed. So the flag in the request object, then allow the front end to know in advance if captcha is required. So then the front end and back end talk more efficiently. Then the verification step, where this function require captcha would basically handle the actual captcha verification. It would only run if the scout step, right, the check captcha, set the flag as needed, and then it would provide clean error handling. And the benefits of this were really to have a better user experience. So that the front end knew how to show the captcha, and the back end knew what the front end required exactly, and then it was just made everything more efficient. And then for future improvements, we agreed with Eric that we would keep on playing with this feature because we're not exactly sure how we want to incorporate it, and how maybe if we want to incorporate this capture system into different features such as a two-factor identification, or um, confirming your email. So what we really need to do is to play around with it and then determine what the basic settings are. And then also, since this is an operating system that we want people to use and incorporate into their ongoing projects, also determine how and which uh, basic settings users can modify so that it best serves their purpose. So to go about the project itself, if you look at it here, you can see that the CAPTCHA system is required here. So if we go here and go to create my account, you can see that if I go Joe, my guy, put my email, put a password, boom, And then let's go full screen instead. That's what I need to do. Let's see if we go here. Create a username, my email, an appropriate password, and then just go here. Boom. We see that if we don't enter any captcha, it doesn't work. If we enter the wrong captcha, it doesn't work as well. We actually need to enter the right captcha, VDVHAE. Now we enter the right captcha, and now we can create our account. Great. And now, therefore, again, if we log out and want to log in once more and put our email, no captcha, we can't get in. Wrong captcha, we can't get in. Then FEPPG, right captcha, we can get in properly without any issue. Now the system's a bit slow. Okay, now we logged in. Okay, and now you can see that our captcha verification system was efficiently and naturally integrated into the whole operating system. And now it's just about determining exactly what we want the settings and the user experience to be.